Yes, yes, yeah. My fellow Americans, this is me announcing my candidacy for the United States of America presidency. I'm here to offer real reform, actual, honest reform, not good reform, just actual reform. Actually, I have no idea. I'm just making things up. Because I have a podium. You know? A podium. And I feel like half of a presidency is owning a podium. They travel with those podiums. I'm not sure they do. I'm just making that up. I'm just goofing around a little bit because I have a podium. Then I looked him in the eye, just like I'm looking you in the eye, and I said, podium? Damn near killed him. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another segment of me interviewing inanimate objects. Now tonight, we have Podium, who would like to bring up a quasi-controversial subject about how he is not really a podium. Now, what would you like to say about these allegations? Strong words from a strong podium. Now with all the podium puns hopefully out of the way, if you'll recall from a previous video, my dad and I, we went to the National Motorcycle Museum's auction just to buy anything at all. And we did pick up a bike, and I've been making videos of that, of bringing it back on and just riding it. But we also picked up some other stuff. In the back corner of the museum, there was kind of a section with older bikes, and it had a flat screen on the wall, and underneath was this podium. Now when I was walking through, and you'll kind of see it with some other people's videos, there was some McDonald's piled on there, there was some other trash piled on there, and it didn't have a tag. So I went and got one of the Mecum people and was like, hey, what's with this? And he said, well, I don't know. Let me go ask what it is. And I said, well, if they'll just sell it to me outright, I'll just buy it now, and you guys don't have to worry about the whole auction thing. I knew they weren't going to do that, but I tried. And so they went back and talked to Jill, and Jill agreed to put it into the auction at least for me. And I was sitting there and I was like, God, a lot of people have been walking by this thing. How is it that no one really asked about it? Probably because nobody cares. Ooh, someone's horny. And I was like, well, I care, I guess, so let's do it. And so they put it in the auction for me, kind of ad hoc, and on Saturday, I think it was the first day, it came up, maybe Sunday, Friday, Saturday, I don't know, second day. It came up for auction, and I started bidding on it. Somebody else started bidding on it. And I was like, hey, nobody else even wanted this in there. And then all of a sudden I get it in there, and now you're bidding on it. Like hell, I'm going to lose it to some guy in the back, whatever. So I paid a little too much for it probably, but I wasn't going to lose it. When we first arrived at the auction, I'm walking around looking at everything, kind of like it's still a museum, right? And everybody's kind of knew what they were coming for and everything like that. And I was trying to figure out what nobody was looking at, because I wanted to come away with something. I wasn't really particular. And so while we were there looking at everything, I saw kind of an older gentleman who looked like he knew the place. And so I started talking to him, and come to find out he was like the museum kind of curator guy. I'm not sure he's quite the curator, but he really knew his stuff and he knew his way around the museum. And I was just talking to him because I felt bad, that he's losing his job. He was retired. He was just doing this for fun, and so and it sucks. So I felt bad, and I was talking to him, and so we'd talk, and every time I'd see him, we'd talk, and I'd ask him questions, and so after I won this in the auction, I went and told him. I said, "Hey, yeah, we got the podium," because I was talking to him about it, about me getting into the auction and everything, and he was like, "You know what? This podium came in with some stuff." He's like, "And so let me go grab that too," and it goes with the podium. So I was like, "Oh shit, yeah," I wasn't going to say no. That's awesome. So we walked back and kind of went into the back room and went up to the shelf where they had, like a back room where they had everything there. And he pulls these two signs out, which I'll show you in a minute. And so we got these two signs, and my dad and we went and loaded them in the back of the truck with this podium. And it was this huge pain in the ass because we weren't expecting to buy furniture and signs, I came there for motorcycles, not so much memorabilia, but whatever. So we had to go to the Walmart, grab some tie downs and some tarps and shit because it was supposed to rain a bunch. Get it in the back of the truck, cover it the best we could, and use some cardboard, use some 2x4s they had laying around, use some plastic wrap. We got everything in there we could. And it was pretty funny because I was stressing out over these stupid ass things. And I was like, whoa, just calm down. I get real stressed out when it comes to shit like this. And, when things not going right, and, my dad is the same way, so we're both getting frustrated and aggravated. And I was like, whoa, like, hey, we got the signs in the back of the truck. We have the podium light tied down. We're doing the best we can. What's the big deal here? Like, what's the big deal? This wasn't even supposed to be a part of the auction. This was just going to get pushed into some weird room and beat to death. Whatever. It gets a little water on it. We've done everything we could, and we calmed down. And we went to this restaurant that had like an English bicycle food theme situation. Maybe it was German. It was like a German-English pub situation. And we had these homemade like sausages and homemade sauerkraut and homemade all this like crazy good food, and that was what we needed. That just calmed us down. We were in Iowa. We had all this Iowa food. It was a good time. No need to stress, right? So we got it all in there. And then, we get the bike and everything, and it makes it home, and it did just fine. So let me take you a tour on the podium. There's not a ton to tour with it, but it is pretty cool. So here's kind of the grand tour of the place, but look at that sweet 90s laminate on there. And I don't know who built this, but they did a really good job. Very sturdy, very heavy. There's no lacking in construction ability, and even the welds look pretty good. The guy who made up the metal situation there. Now here's the cool part. The storage. Decent drawers. It's drawer glides. Obviously I don't have the keys for it. It's on casters. Moves around easy. Fixed shelves. That's where the lock goes, All in all, a very piece. A little place to rest your foot. Yeah. All around cool piece. Now, let's dig around in my drawers. So, in the top drawer is where I keep all my Excelsior stuff. And yeah, I'll show you what I got. California emissions label, because it's funny, it makes me laugh. One of my Excelsior keychains. The Experience bandanas. Some parts bags that I can't bring myself to throw away. My X-Rider Club bandanas. Large patch. Small patch. X-Riders Club stickers. Club pin. The envelope that all this stuff came in. Warranty and service records. And the Rider's Handbook. And down here, I keep everything tied to the auction. The mailer. The program that I wrote everything in. Or nothing at all. And did I write anything down? Oh yeah, I wrote a couple things down. Yeah, see, I was trying to keep up with especially the bikes. What they went for. Random bag. Couple pamphlets from the museum. Benzuela. The actual auction sheets that I actually did write most of the stuff on, bike related anyway. I kind of gave up when it came to, with a pin in it. Another mailer. My tag. Some sort of thing. And from when I bought the Pook, they give you this envelope with everything it had in there. Lot S14, had the instruction booklet and some other stuff in there. When I first found the podium, I called a good friend of mine, Jamie Jones. Rest in peace, Jamie. And I sent him some pictures of this, and I said, hey, is this legit? Like, what is this? And he sent me some pictures back of after the factory had shut down, of a few people in the front foyer there with all of this furniture in there. And I said, oh shit, that is the podium. It's the podium that was in there. And he's like, from looking at the pictures, I think it is. I think that's the podium. So I was like, well, screw it. That's when I put it in. That's when I asked to have it put in there. And so I was like, okay, so Jamie thinks it's legit. I mean, it looks pretty legit. It's got this kind of like 90s feel to it. This late 90s, early 2000s, big fat molding, And so I also found a video, and we'll link it here, or here, or here, maybe here, of the podium in use. And during one of the first shareholder meetings, there was this big long line. It's an old video, and I'll have a link of it here. And everybody's standing in line to sign the guest book that was on this podium. And you can see the podium, you can see the guest book, the line of people. So I think this is a pretty cool piece, and I'm glad I saved it from mediocrity and just being, pushed around and pushed into the back of somebody's garage somewhere and stored tools on it and everything like that. I know it looks like I have in my garage here, but I actually moved it because it's just easier to film in here. I had some steak tonight, and it was fucking good. But damn, is it coming back for seconds. And I don't hate it. I'm not going to lie. Anywho, but I do keep it in the house. And I keep it actually in my music room where I store all the Excelsior memorabilia that I have, all the stuff from the group, and some of the like auction stuff I keep all in it. So, it'll have a decent life till we figure out what's going on. But we got a podium. Now, when the guy and I went back there, this is what was back there. And I'm not sure, hopefully somebody can tell me where this came from. It's kind of a fun little sign. It's got, the letters are on there, so there's a little bit of a shadow. It's like a 3D letter situation, right? And you can tell this was maybe part of something mobile. The E fell off and they used Velcro to put it back on. But, and it's a plastic sign on foam. So it's a nice thick sign, but it's actually real light. And the plastic will cut the shit out of you if you're not careful. And it's got a little bit of damage from, I'm assuming that's how they hung it in a hurry one time. Maybe it kept falling down. I don't know, maybe someone got mad at it with a pencil. I don't know the whole story back there. When this was happening, when this sign and this podium and all this was going on, I think I was, let's see, 12 maybe? 13, 14, 15? So yeah, I don't know the whole story behind it. It's kind of why I make some of these videos too, because I want some people to chime in, hopefully, because I'm trying to play catch up here. But yeah, it's just a big foam sign. Nothing crazy on the back, just some mounting holes, And it's a little beat up because I think, like I said, it was mobile. The only two thoughts that Jamie and I had were that maybe this one was with the road crew or something, going to all the rides, or he was saying that in the beginning when Hanlon had the little shop, he was selling t-shirts, and he had these little signs, something like this anyway, hanging above the t-shirts when you walked in the door, just to, sell some early merch. So I'm not sure if it's one of those. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Where do you think it came from? You guys were there, maybe. So yeah, that's the story of the podium, kind of. That was a lot of fun. And I try to take my dad recently. I've been wanting to take him on a vacation every year. When we were growing up, we didn't have much money. But my dad figured out how to get us a vacation every year, no matter what. And, did a lot of sleeping in a van, camping, whatever we had to do. But we made it. And that was a lot of fun. And there's no reason why we can't keep that going. So, yeah, let's do it. So, still trying to figure out what we're going to do this year, but that was a lot of fun. Going to Iowa was a lot of fun. We got to do the John Wayne Museum a little bit, and that's where the British of the bridges of Madison County. You hear about them. I've never watched the damn movie, but you hear about them. I was like, oh shit, the bridges. So we went and did the bridges, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just came down here to San Diego, spent some time we flew them home, and yeah, so that's why I wanted to buy that podium. It wasn't just for the Excelsior Henderson thing. The whole Excelsior Henderson thing isn't even for me about Excelsior Hendersons, really. It really is about keeping automotive history alive, and the Excelsior Henderson really did try to carve their own, and they did it. They've got their slice. And everybody in the group has been so much fun, and that's one thing I really like about the Excelsior Henderson is I've never been a part of a group or anything like that before. So being, what makes this group unique is it's about the motorcycle. And it's, and I know every group is kind of like that. Every group is like, well, this is about the Harley, this is about the Pook, whatever, right? But like this group is really about that. And this group is so tight that there's no room to really screw around. Like if you try to, I've heard tales of people in the past trying to make, big profits off of stuff, things like that, and the whole community won't buy it, won't work for you because we're all in this together. So I think that's really neat. I think that's my favorite part about this whole community is we're all just trying our best to keep these damn things on the road long enough for them to be a relevant piece of history, a really relevant piece of history. Not just some obscure leftover bike from the 90s. The story is bigger than that. And it may end up that way. I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't see 50, 80 years into the future. But it won't be from us not trying, damn it. So, yeah, let's keep it going. I'm going to keep putting out these videos, and we'll try to keep this stuff, at least alive long enough for us to hopefully not outlive it. So, fuck it. You know what we should do? Let's go for a night ride. That little Pook, the little 6-volt headlight, I haven't really had it at night. I'm feeling frisky. Let's go risk our lives. California traffic, nighttime, 6-volt. Let's do it.